After a grueling 3 days in the World Rapid and Blitz Championship, we finally have our winners. When you look at the scorecard, when you look at the entire points table, you will be wondering, why have I come so late? It is because of the simple fact that we needed to know who our third place winner would be in the open category. Now, straight up, let me tell you who has managed to win the World Rapid title. In the open category, Magnus Carlsen has won the World Rapid Championship by a full 1 point. And look at it. When he came today, he was half a point behind Vladislav Artemiev, but then he managed to win 5 straight games and ensured that, yes, he would be the World Rapid Champion for the 6th time. GOAT Magnus Carlsen for a reason. If you look at it, the second place went to Vladislav Artemiev, 9.5 points. On the other hand, there was a potential 5-way tie for the second and the third positions. If you look at it, Artemiev second. Then you look at it on 9.5, there was also Arjun Erigaisi. There was also Hans Niemann. There was also Leonard Dominguez Perez, who had gotten to 9.5 points. Now, Magnus Carlsen has already won the title. Who was going to get the silver and the bronze? Now, according to the Buchholz tiebreaker, whoever had the better tiebreaker score would go on to get the respective medals. So in this case, it was Vladislav Artemiev. Artemiev had a superb Buchholz tiebreaker score, and because of that, he managed to get the silver medal. Now it boiled down to Arjun Erigaisi, Hans Niemann, Leonard Dominguez Perez, and there you had a showdown because you had to wait for all the games in the World Rapid section to get over. And because of that, what happened is after all the games were over, in the Buchholz tiebreaker system, he was up. Arjun Erigaisi was just ahead by 0.5 against Hans Niemann. And that is the key reason why Arjun Erigaisi, because he had a better Buchholz tiebreaker system and the score that he had was just 0.5, he managed to get the bronze medal. So basically, this is the thing. If there are multiple players separated on, if there are multiple players on the same points, then you look at the Buchholz tiebreaker. And because of that, you don't play a tiebreaker for second and third. You only play the tiebreaker for the championship. Now, this is where a bit of a controversy has erupted. Because in the women's section, heading into the final round, Koneru Humpy, Aleksandra Goryachkina, and Zhu Jiner, they were all tied. Now, Koneru Humpy would be ruining her thing that she could not get over the line against her Indian opponent. Remember, she was facing Srihari. She had secured a bronze, Srihari, in the 2021 Olympiad, and she had put in a tremendous show. At one point in time, Koneru Humpy was winning. Aleksandra Goryachkina and Zhu Jiner had actually drawn their games. And if Humpy had won, she would have won the World Rapid title for the third time. But this is not what happened. Humpy unfortunately blundered in the bishop endgame, and because of that, unfortunately, she got a draw. But that draw meant that three players, Goryachkina, Zhu Jiner, and Koneru Humpy, were all level on 8.5. Now, this is where the controversy has erupted. The problem is, Koneru Humpy's tiebreaker score was unfortunately lower than Goryachkina and Zhu Jiner. Because of that, the top two would only fight for the tiebreakers. It would be 2 tiebreaker matches, and because Koneru Humpy just missed out on the low tiebreaker score, she couldn't be part of the tiebreakers. There was a lot of confusion at that point in time whether, but in the previous tournaments, in open FIDE events, there were 3 people. There were 4 people who could battle it out. But actually, according to the rules, FIDE had said that there would only be a tiebreaker only with the top two. Whoever had the two best scores would fight it out for the tiebreakers. And this is the key reason why, because Koneru Humpy didn't have a tiebreaker score which was good enough, she ended up third. And Goryachkina managed to beat Zhu Jiner 1.5 to 0.5 and become the new world rapid champion when you have to look at the women's section. But still, it is a commendable performance from Koneru Humpy because she had won the rapid title in 2019. She had won the rapid title in New York in 2024. And had she not blundered in the Bishop endgame, she would have actually managed to win that match and ensure she would have won back-to-back titles. Imagine, Koneru Humpy winning 3 titles would have been a legendary feat in Indian chess at this point in time. However, because she blundered in under time pressure in that particular game, in her last league game, that last match will haunt Koneru Humpy because she had a chance to win it outright. Goryachkina had leveled with her lesser ranked opponent. It was draw. And that is why, when you look at it, it was a golden opportunity missed for Koneru Humpy. But still, it is a great feature that we have seen. So, Arjun Erigaisi has managed to win the bronze medal. He's finished in third position. And you managed to ensure that Koneru Humpy gets the bronze medal in the women's category. But there will be plenty of debate on the rule. There will be plenty of things. Many people are already trending the fact that Koneru Humpy was probably robbed of the title. But actually, maybe it was there in the playing conditions at this point in time. So that is where I will do a special explainer on the rules tomorrow until the dust has settled. Now, people would be asking, why were you so late? We already came to know about it. No, I was waiting for all the games to end. Only after that, there was a lot of confusion whether Hans Niemann was getting the bronze or whether Arjun Erigaisi was getting the bronze. Only when we got the confirmation that Arjun Erigaisi was getting the bronze, we broke the news at this point in time. But Arjun Erigaisi also, he had gone through the game so well. He had managed to hold Magnus Carlsen in a brilliant attritional endgame. Only if had he not lost to Artemiev, he would have actually finished higher. And that is why when you look at it, Arjun Erigaisi, another missed opportunity. But when you look at Rapid and Blitz, Gandivam is our only hope. As far as Praggnanandhaa is concerned, he had a very off tournament. I mean, not for Praggnanandhaa standards, he rather had an off tournament at this point in time. Gukesh, 8.5, but he's in the top 25 at this point. He was not in contention until today. Before today, Gukesh was in contention. He was in the top 4, but then he just could not push on and he just could not win on a consistent basis. See, the World Rapid event is a very, very difficult title because it's so intense. You need to have a winning streak and only Magnus Carlsen managed that. And unfortunately, Yazkhan Erdogan, this 14-year-old kid, along with Javokir Sindarov, are going to set the stage on fire in the next decade when you look at chess, because Yazkhan Erdogan unfortunately dented Arjun Erigaisi's chances in a big way. And that is why his performances, he lost to Magnus Carlsen also. And Magnus Carlsen, once he gets on a winning streak, 5 straight games he won, he's the GOAT for a reason. And that is why I doff my hat to Magnus Carlsen. 19th FIDE title for him. 8 Blitz titles, 5 classical world championships, 6 rapid titles. GOAT for a reason. Magnus Carlsen, greatest freak, genius. There is no other way to describe it. So that's why congratulations to Magnus Carlsen. Congratulations to Aleksandra, Goryachkina. Truly, truly magnificent performances. And Abhay Singh is saying, anything happens against India, it's controversy. See, I agree, Abhay, that Indians are a sentimental lot. I agree that Indians don't know the rules. I agree that this was the instance. But normally, yes, it doesn't make sense if there are 3-4 people who are tied. You do not have to play all 4. You don't have to play another round robin to ensure. FIDE, to their credit, made it clear that yes, top 2 will only fight. Only for the championship you will fight. which is why there was no tiebreaker or no knockouts for the second, third, and fourth. It was a simple thing. Decide by the Buchholz tiebreaker. And that is the reason why you waited for all the games and you got your number 2, number 3, number 4 at this stage. And Ashna, such an unfair rule for women's tiebreakers, unlucky Humpy. I know. I mean, see, in the open category, everybody can play. Everybody who's eligible will play in the tiebreakers, but for the women's section, only the top 2. This is a discrepancy that FIDE have to address, because you cannot have a separate set of rules for the open category. You cannot have a separate set of rules for the women's category. We have to understand that FIDE, if they have to make it uniform throughout, you have to ensure that proper rules are followed. Simple. Uniformly, if there are multiple players tied on points, use the Buchholz tiebreaker. Calculate it, and unfortunate. If you've got the same points, but bad on the tiebreakers, it's quite bad. No one remembers second and third, only winner matters. Abhay Singh, absolutely. See, that's why nations are a winning mentality at this point in time. Nations who have that kind of mentality do dominate. That is why Magnus Carlsen, if he had not won the title, he would have just said, forget it, I'm not going to play anymore. But that is the thing. Congrats to Arjun and Humpy. That's what Sportsman is saying. Yeah, congrats to them. I mean, Humpy, man, Queen Humpy. Truly remarkable what she does at this point. Rahul, not Dravid. Sad for Humpy missing hat-trick of gold in a whisker. She's a legend, underrated. Very happy for Arjun. Something substantial after long promising year. Hoping much more to him. Congrats for both. Yeah, it's been a tough 2025 for Arjun Erigaisi. And somewhere this third place finish. By the way, he's also third in the live rapid ratings. So that's a good thing for him. Ashna, only mainstream sports journalists to cover chess extensively. Great work, sir. I'll be waiting to get updates on major chess tournaments here, as it's hard to follow so long in live. Ashna, agree. But then see, if you follow it live, it is a great experience. You get to learn so much from the broadcasters that's there. Look at FIDE, look at ChessCom, look at ChessBase, look at the way how they do it. And that's why it's a thing. Rahul, not Dravid. Gukesh, once starts losing, he loses like anything. He doesn't have consistency in rapid. He fell off like anything today despite being in medal contention. That's the problem. That's the thing that Gukesh, but credit to him, he actually has done well. 8.5 out of 13 is not a bad score. Imagine Koneru Humpy, Zhu Jiner, Aleksandra Goryachkina did not lose a single game. Humpy got the bronze despite not losing a single game, but because of a low tiebreaker. That is how fine the margins are. And finding words, Rafael Gautam, finding words to describe Magnus Carlsen, I couldn't. Still, this guy says Kasparov was best. I will echo that sentiment. There was no one better than Gary. Carlsen is a mixture of Kasparov and, you may say, Bobby Fischer. Because you have to understand, Magnus is an end game beast. Same with Kasparov. But Fischer's middle game proficiency, Carlsen is like that. Once your opening is solid and if your middle and end games are next level, you are a legendary player. That is why he's gotten the right teacher when you have to look at it. Gary Kasparov, legend. And yes, not so popular. I mean, as Indian chess followers, we would never appreciate Kasparov for what he did in 1995. But legend, absolute legend of the game. And unfortunate color of medal, but 5th medal in rapid. Wow, it's rapid our best format, sports fan. I think it is. And she has a good chance even in Blitz also, Koneru Humpy, when I look at it. Tanya Sajde once said about Magnus, whatever he plays, he wins. Yes. GOAT Carlsen has to win. That is the way when we look at it. So yes, we now have come to the end of the rapid rounds. Tomorrow, there is going to be 13 rounds of Blitz. Now, remember, the format there is slightly different at this point, because if memory serves me right, 13 rounds, the top 8 will then go into the finals. That's how I think the format was last time. Maybe there is a change this time around. Maybe there's a change. So Rahul, not right. Carlsen, after losing to Artemiev, won in a row. All the games had almost won before last game was his Anish. GOAT. I told you, despite losing to Artemiev, despite being 0.5 behind, he still won. 5 wins on the trot. No one had a better streak than him. Which is why, salute to Magnus Carlsen. Salute to his greatness. Salute to his brilliance. Abhay Singh, it is different top 4 this time. Oh, yes. Abhay Singh, you're right. You're right after this. So that is why, 19 rounds of Blitz, 13 rounds tomorrow, 6 rounds after tomorrow. Yes. And the top 4 will contest the semi-final and the final. Yeah, you're right. I just got to know the format at the top of my head at this point in time. So thank you guys for pointing that out. And thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this update. Tomorrow, there'll be a special explainer on why Koneru Humpy was denied the tiebreaker shot. Was it the rules? Was it a tiebreaker? We all will be going into that very much in detail. So thank you so much, folks. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.